He was like a quiet warrior, I guess. He was just always positive, like he's just gonna make it through this.
Yesterday was the final day that I got to see my husband and give him his final wish, which is to have a full military honors burial. It was a beautiful day, and had he been there, he would have loved it.
I have pleural mesothelioma in my left lung, which I had major surgery for in April of last year. I was a full-time ear, nose, throat physician, and that sort of abruptly ended when I had my surgery.
Okay.
I have follow-ups every 3 months.
Kind of achy, you're going to feel flu-like tonight, sore throat.
I was born in 1948, so there was an asbestos and everything back then. Probably just through my lifetime. But who knows where I picked it up from.
There's outbuildings like chicken coops, and there's big sheds, and then the barn. It's been in the family since the 1850s, and every 2 or 3 months we'd probably go up there. It's just a kind of neat place to run around.
I started experiencing some chest pain and shortness of breath. And the pain got worse, so I ended up seeing the physician, and I kept telling him about the history of mesothelioma, and that I thought maybe this could be mesothelioma. My brother died from it in 1999, and my sister had something similar in 2005, and they both died within 6 months. Right before the surgery, he was like, I'll give you better than a 99% chance it's going to be negative. When I woke up, he said, well, your whole lung's covered with it.
Callie, our oldest daughter, sat with me in the waiting room. As we sat there, we saw the doctors come and get the patients, and they were all told about their loved one in the waiting room. And then when my surgeon came out, he motioned me to come to the little room. I remember he made me sit down, and the wall was just a foot in front of me. And I knew right then that it wasn't good. And he said that he had cancer, and it was quite extensive, and it covered the whole lung. I came out and I told Callie, and we started crying in the hallway.
My mom and I, we knew it was probably gonna be mesothelioma. We knew that was a pretty strong possibility, so it wasn't a huge shock, but it was still devastating to hear.
When I found out, I thought it was like the end of the world, because my dad has such a big impact on me for my whole entire life. He taught me how to hunt. He always takes me hunting.
I just thought that was the beginning of the end until I did the research, and then, I felt very hopeful. Now they have so many trials, and the science has gotten better. So I went from very depressed to very hopeful, and so many times people say, you guys are so positive, and we're like, it won't be the end till the end, because there's just so many things to try.
Standard treatment, you don't want to do that. You want standard plus something extra. So we chose to come to Philadelphia with it's called a radical pleurectomy, where instead of taking the lung out, they do a meticulous dissection, and because this is a cancer of the pleura, of the lining of the lung, so they have to strip all that lining off, and it's just like peeling an orange. So far it's worked. Today we're going to the University of Pennsylvania Hospital where I'm going to have a bronchoscopy and biopsy performed. I had an area of thickening just at the end of the left main bronchus. There was also some funny looking tissue on the wound on the side of my chest. They may take a biopsy of that too. So I hope to find out what this is, and then we can get on with treatment for it.
We're not trying to let it, take over our lives or anything, and it's just something that we're going to work through, and hopefully Dad can stay around as long as he can. Day to day, we just keep going on as we normally have. We've been walking the city all these last 4 days, and been having fun, and it's been great to, spend some time with my dad. I hope today goes fine, and hopefully it's not whatever the prognosis for today's biopsy is. I hope it's at least manageable.
When I went to Philadelphia this last time, it was basically just a follow-up visit, and had the bronchoscopy and the biopsy and the skin done. Both those came back positive. And so that was a little disconcerting. It's kind of hard to make plans for anything because everything seems to go 3 months at a time.
I think he's doing really well. I know he is so dedicated to his patients, so he goes to work and his staff fawn all over him, and he keeps telling them, I'm gonna be back, I'm gonna be back. And I know in his heart he wants to, and they want him back.
We want to try to stay happy and still live a normal life, but try to do some things that we've been wanting to do since he's probably going to have a shorter life.
What? What's that?
We want to go hunt maybe on some ranches for maybe exotic game.
Well, the cancer, it's come back, and I finished 6 rounds of chemotherapy over about 4 months, and I'm a little over a month out from that, and the cancer, I can tell it's starting to grow again.
Bill had some complications starting in January. So he started hospice officially on Saturday, a week and a day before he passed away.
When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me.
Everyone was going to spend Sunday with Bill. That Saturday evening, I said, honey, are you ready to go to bed? And it was 9:30. And he said, yeah, I'm tired. Let me go to bed now. Usually he will wake me up in the middle of the night. So when I woke up at 7:04, I was a little startled. I looked over to the bed and I could see his face. He was all pink and he looked peaceful. And then I noticed that I didn't hear any breathing sounds. He was just like he was asleep. He just went peacefully. So that was Sunday morning.
I just really miss him, and I'm gonna miss seeing him every day and his stories. He was just such a great person and so fun. There are so many great memories, and one of my favorite parts of Thursday night was hearing everybody laugh at the pictures that we had chosen.
During the memorial, I added all the fun time pictures, and everyone was smiling and laughing at them, and we all just kind of remembered all the funny times that we had with Dad.
He was so admired and liked by everyone, and always was joking around, had a great sense of humor. Everybody loved Bill.